Welcome everyone to the Prem Show. I am your host, Jason Gore, and it has been an exciting return for top English football. With thrill-seeking goals and dramatic returns for some historic clubs, how did this week turn out and what does this suggest for the rest of the campaign? First game is Man United versus Arsenal. A cagey affair saw the Gunners grab 3 points from a dodgy goalkeeping blunder. Arsenal defensively was really impressive, with Saliba and Gabriel anticipating attacks. Standout was Raya, who was making some impressive saves. Man United were actually the better team going forward in my opinion, with good transitions but just lacked composure in the final third. Amarim's tactics are working well, but they need to strengthen in the goalkeeping department after Bayern's bluster cost them the game. Next is the first match of the season, which was Bournemouth versus Liverpool. An emotional return for the players and fans following the tragic passing of forward Diogo Jota. A minute's silence commemorated the tragedy. The players produced a game worthy of such an occasion, ending 4-2. Liverpool looked dominant and powerful, with Ekitike being my standout. He will be a brilliant addition to the squad. Semenyo played exceptionally well with 2 goals, and the second goal was absolutely exquisite. Chiesa and Salah bagged goals at the end to clinch the victory. Man City are back to winning ways by dismantling Wolves in a 4-0 thrashing at Molineux. Haaland scored a brace and Shirky scored on his Premier League debut, but the standout performance was from Reinders, who also scored and assisted. The way he drove the ball and orchestrated the build-up play for City was exceptional. He'll be a big part of Pep's plans. Wolves, however, looked unorganised and unable to deal with Man City, as they were bombarded with multiple attacks and Wolves just had no answer. In a more positive note, Thomas Frank has had a positive first result as Tottenham boss. Richarlison, forgetting which year it is, scoring this absolute beauty in the 60th minute. He tore Burnley apart with the brace, but the man who ran the show was Kudus. He was electric and sent Burnley defenders to the car park. Brennan Johnson sealed the game on the counter and made Burnley have a tragic return to the Premier League. Brentford travelled to Nottingham to face Forest, and the game started with an early goal from Chris Wood in the 5th minute. He scored his second in the 47th with a class act going around the keeper. Enjoy also had a fairy tale debut, scoring and celebrating in front of the Nottingham faithful. Thiago dispatched a penalty for Brentford, but it wasn't enough, as Brentford have seemed to lost the spark now that Mbeumo is out of the picture. A team who had a better return to the Premier League is Sunderland, who dunked 3 on West Ham. 2 headers fired Sunderland into a comfortable lead with Bollard and Mayenda scoring, but Diarra stole the show, as he was crucial in the way that Sunderland moved the ball forward and threatened West Ham. West Ham had some signs of good play, but it just seemed like all they know how to do is pass to Bowen, which puts a lot of pressure on him to get them out of trouble. Everton and Leeds faced off in an exciting game where everyone had the finishing of Rasmus Højlund. Everyone except Numeka, who dispatched a late penalty to give Leeds a 1-0 win over the Toffees. Pyro played well, getting in behind Everton, who are known for their defensive qualities. But can Leeds keep this form against other sides? Villa and Newcastle saw a pretty lifeless start to both campaigns as the game ended 0-0. Konsa's foul on Gordon became the first sending off of the new campaign. In my opinion, there was contact, but Gordon went down far too easily. Both teams seemed to match each other, but as a result nullify each other, and this resulted in a very uneventful 90 minutes. Next, we head over to the Amex, where Brighton hosted Fulham. A genuinely exciting match that ended with Rodrigo Muniz grabbing a last-minute equaliser from a corner. Brighton were seconds away from grabbing the 3 points until it was stolen away from them. O'Reilly took a penalty earlier with full confidence. Brighton were playing fluid football, but then started to park the bus to save the lead. This, however, failed. The last match is at Stamford Bridge, where Chelsea and Palace clashed for the first time this campaign. An absolute screamer of a free kick from Eze was disallowed due to Gahey being too close to the wall. Apart from a few chances from Chelsea, it was mainly Eze and Mateta who looked really threatening and were unlucky not to score. There were signs in that game that Mateta is going to have a really good season for Palace. And that is it from me. I hope you enjoyed. I'll be back next week to talk about the next lot of fixtures. Goodbye from me.